Alrighty, PG-13. Now before we get into this, I just want to say that we're gonna erect the flag, and we want to make 3 towers. So the first tower is gonna be underneath this. So you're gonna make a tower. You're going to construct a tower that are going to go on. All the pieces are going to be, like lengthwise. They're all going to be the same height. Underneath the back, you're going to construct another tower. And the front, you're going to construct another tower. Now under the beams, I'm going to basically put whatever leftover wood I have from cutting the base, I'm going to put underneath. So I'm going to put it underneath the trusses and outline the trusses like that. It'll make it way easier than when I can set all this down on the on the leftover supports. So anyways, I'm going to construct the towers. Then once I have the towers in place, I'm going to see. Oh, it's not going to be that complicated, but it's going to be a little bit simpler. Because, like, you could maybe construct a tower from this part to this part. You can construct a front tower, a mid tower. And when I'm talking about towers, maybe I'll make this a little clearer. Actually, we'll take a shelf, for example. So a tower is going to be basically squared off section, so each section will have a tower. So make it simpler, every tower will be exactly the same height, and then you're gonna be able to put in floors. I'm pre-drilling all the holes, so once I get the towers constructed, I'm basically gonna put the tower in place, then mark it, then pre-drill the holes from the top. So that'll be a lot easier for the base. The base will be super easy to do. You just make your little cuts, and that should work pretty good. Now I don't have a table saw, so unfortunately it's going to be a little bit harder. Just probably have a circular saw. I might have a jigsaw, so I might be able to make some of the doorways. But for the most part, I'm going to build towers or sections. They're all going to be the same height. And then it's going to be just a matter of basically putting the trusses on. Now I'm going to pre-drill some holes through the trusses. And even like a couple of the trusses. And then I'm just going to be able to plop it on. And I'm going to obviously use the leftover wood to put under the trusses. So that'll make it way easier. So basically, as long as everything's the same height, it should just sit right on it. So we're going to make this a way easier. So the construction won't be as hard. Now, I didn't have enough money to buy extra wood, so I only got the base part. So I'm going to have to look around the house and see what leftover wood that I might design some of the tower structures from. I mean, I do have leftover parts from an old waterbed, and that's super solid, or maybe a cupboard board. But the whole point I'm trying to make is it's much easier to make certain sections, screw them on your base, make sure everything's the same height. Shouldn't be that hard or complicated to do. And the measurements that I'm going to take, it's going to be a base. So the base is more forgiving. You can make the base a little, wider if you want. You can make it so it comes out a bit. Everyone's done this differently. Actually, most of the people have done it all the same. They've used 2x4s, which really takes away a lot of your space underneath. So I'm thinking 2 stories for sure. And then you're going to have a third underneath the flag, because you're going to be using the wood. So it's going to look pretty good. You know, like, I don't know if I want to just do, well, I guess I'm going to try to square it off. And then, you know, there's going to be a tower section, but I don't know. I might want the tower section to come out more. And this way, I can, oh, but then it might block the view. So no, maybe I'm not going to have the, well, I might have the tower section come out a bit. The board, the extra board can come out underneath here. So that might be okay. But then I don't have to have the tower cut off there. I can have the tower board go down there and over here and still have an extra wood come out there. And that way, if I want to put little gun emplacements here, or maybe run a stairs up this way, that might work, or a ladder. So you want to pre-plan what exactly you're going to do before you do it, because you're only going to get one shot to do it. So in cutting the base, basically I'm going to, you know, I'm going to have the base be the same. It's going to come out to here probably, maybe float it a little extra, because it's just a base. So to have an extra part of the base, and to keep it simple, you know, keep it simple, stupid. You just run your base all the way, and then you could put the cut in there if you wanted. So I could trace out that part. And I've got extra flag parts underneath here, so I could easily do that just for that one section. But the whole point is, once I get the base, then I'm going to start with the tower constructions. The tower constructions will give you extra rooms. So if I make it 2 stories, you know, it's all going to be 2 stories, which will give you 3 stories. So, and I'm going to put it on these. So I'm going to use 3 of these. I'm not going to put any casters or coasters underneath. I do have. But I'm going to put it on 3 of these so I can run it across from the room here. Now, because of the weather, I have to wait a day or 2 before I can actually get started. So that'll probably give me some time to, you know, throw the Joes in some of these boxes here that I got. And make some space, start moving things around. So it's going to be a few days before I get another video up, but I just want you to know that's the plan for the flag. And then we got our Admiral Keelhull getting ready to resurrect the flag, the Easter resurrection of the flag. Now, what other ideas can I incorporate in this? Well, I don't have the trusses for the elevator, but we'll see. Maybe if I have any 1x1 boards, I could try to make an elevator. But for now, I'm gonna not worry too much about the elevator part, because I want to make it run it on a chain and a little motor. You know, my friend had a tear drum that his dad made for him, and he actually had an elevator that did have a chain hooked up to an electric motor, and it was pretty simple to use. So anyways, we're going to design tower sections for certain parts of the flag, and it'll come together way better, way easier. Plus it'll make it more supportive. And always pre-drill your holes, that way your boards will not crack on you when you put the screws in. And you know, you want to have your screws certain screw sizes, so you don't go too deep into the boards. But always pre-drill your holes, and that way, you know, you don't end up ruining your flag. Now you can always use washers and whatnot as well underneath. But again, I want to pre-drill everything. I want to be able to have it across the room here, so when I'm putting it all together I can just tilt it, you know, not have to worry. But once I start pre-drilling stuff, that's the hard part. But see, if I put it on those little shelf bases, like I have the Terradrome. The Terradrome, I'm just going to move on to a little table that I got. But then you could go underneath, because you have it on a shelf. So you could easily screw it in. It won't be as complicated or as hard. And I think we've covered a lot. I would like to make some, you know, gun emplacements. But you know, again, because this is weather based, I have to wait for good weather, because I'm going to be doing all my spraying outside. You know, I got some primer, I got some paint, and once I'm just going to do a quick coat. If I have to fix it up later on, I'm not going to worry about it. But that's all I'm going to do. Keep it simple. I'm going to eventually use the plywood underneath the trusses and see, you know, that'll give you extra room underneath the Flagg as well, for extra rooms. And then we're going to have to worry about the lighting in a month or so, because you know, I can't afford to do everything at once. Anyone wants to send any donations, great. As for the person I did not name that kept harassing me for a figure, hey, I don't have to give you my figures. I'm gonna have a contest, but since you know, you think it's personal, well, it's not. You know, you unsubscribe to the channel, that's great. Well, as maybe when one person unsubscribed, I got like way more subscribers. So anyways, it's about the toys, it's about having fun. And if you're, you know, you can't be controlling of someone. Everyone's opinion matters, but you know what? Hey, I don't understand when someone just constantly asks and asks, and I said, hey, you know, and I actually did look at the store to see if they had any, but they didn't have that figure, and you know, he just kept getting on my case, so I had to remove him from the channel, but he was already unsubscribed, so it didn't matter. Whereas I've gained way more subscribers because, you know, we're here to have fun, we're here to enjoy collecting. And yes, I will have a contest probably in the summer. I will have a giveaway, or maybe a couple draws. And I'm going to also buy some extra Delta 17 figures for the draw as well. And you know, I was planning on doing this anyways, before I even got a donation from Steve and Ken there from Toy Connections for Delta17toys.com. So we're gonna raise the flag. This is gonna be epic. As for that person that said what's the word, something about his privacy, dude, you came on my channel, you harassed me, that could be criminal charges against you, but I'm not going that route. And if you try to start crap with me and my family, you know, I'm taking care of my kids and whatnot, but if you try to start crap with me, well, you're in the wrong. You're the one who came here constantly harassing and hounding me to give you a figure. Why should I just give up my figures? I'm gonna have a contest, and you know, people can enter, and we'll figure it out in the summertime. And I'm gonna have a pretty good contest for all my subscribers, and you unsubscribe to me even so. But nonetheless, I'm gonna have a contest for my subscribers, and you know, gonna plan on something nice to give them, because everyone who comments and supports the channel, that's what I appreciate. And like I said, I don't get paid for the views. You know, I'm here to have fun, here to enjoy collecting. If you're gonna start crap with me, well, you know, I'm forgivable, and I also forgive. Just like someone asked me to bury the thing, I did. All said and done. Anyways, we're gonna construct a flag. It's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna take a little bit of time.